Hey guys, what's up? My name is Gunn. I'm a musician, actor, filmmaker, all the above. Three weeks after high school, I'm moving out of Texas. I want to go be a rock star in LA. And having Indian parents, it's doctor, lawyer, engineer. You can do any one of those things you want to do. So obviously it was against the grain. And I went to music school after I moved out, and I actually got burned out in the schooling system for music, and I quit. And I was about to go to med school, and I went through my undergrad, and I was kind of floundering for a couple years. I didn't know what I wanted to do, and then I ended up, it was one night of playing charades, I realized I love acting. And then based on that, I kind of made my way through. I kind of used music, auditioned for a movie to be a composer, but then I said, let me audition as an actor. It's like, who knows? And I ended up getting the lead. It's like the romantic lead of the movie. And then I went and acted in 180 student films, just one after the other, the top schools where Spielberg and Lucas, all those guys went to in LA. And then second year you cut, I'm running over to the camera guys. I'm like, what is that button? What does this do? What does that do? What does that do? And I got a lot of training out of that, and you learn about set timing. And so then I learned about all the principles of filmmaking. So editing, writing, directing, special effects. So based on that, I was able to use that to parlay it to right here at Hispanicize, I'm directing the video. So I know what kind of questions to ask in order to be a really tight edit. So I'm thinking multiple steps, because when you have those different roles, you can kind of think ahead, as opposed to just thinking like a host or just thinking like a cinematographer. And so a lot of times I'm directing my own stuff. And so the money I get from my filmmaking equipment from the day job gigs, which are fun like this, and I use that for my own passion projects. So right now we're doing my buddy and I, we're doing a Star Wars and an Indiana Jones passion project film, which we're actually going to shop to the industry. And I'm also doing a lot of music videos as well, and I'm trying to get a couple of feature films off the ground. So. My biggest quote is, let passion be your decision maker, not fear. So figure out what you love, to where I always ask people, if you had $1 billion in the bank, what would you do right now? For me, I would still keep doing these Star Wars films, doing my song, things like that. I'm going out shooting, directing. And so even within the film, I kind of narrowed down, because I did everything. I know what I like and what I don't like. Really know yourself. I love to shoot. I like to direct. I hate editing. I hate being in the editing room, just sitting there by myself. I like to be out here, where the excitement is. So you need to figure that out about yourself, but you got to go through all those steps. So get a taste of everything. And most film schools and colleges, you can just go in and you can help out other film students. So you can get a taste of, and they have no crew. So they're like, please go do 5 different things on the set that you'll never be able to do on a studio set, because it's all union. But here you get an idea of what you want to do. Or go to a recording studio and go, hey, John Bon Jovi got started that way. He was sweeping the floors of a studio, and they let him have some studio time, and next thing you know, he's Bon Jovi. There's bartering is a really good way to get whatever you want. It's I'll give you my time, teach me something. It's in 20 years you'll regret what you didn't do as opposed to what you did do. Because the things that you do and they kind of suck, they'll be forgotten. Guess who directed Piranha 2? James Cameron, who did Titanic. Nobody really worries about that. So just keep doing it and doing it and doing it, and then you'll eventually, the good stuff will rise up to the top. So one thing with fear and finding courage, it's almost like there are sub-steps in between there. So if you want to talk about fear, I just released my debut single where I'm actually singing, as opposed to being a guitar player in a band. And of course, singing is probably even a bigger fear than talking on stage. So with singing, a lot of the fear is I'm out of pitch. So what is the solution to that? And so I bartered with a vocal coach, and I shot her first music video, and she's a phenomenal singer. And so part of that fear, conquering the fear, is to find a solution to that fear. And also record yourself, because you think you're doing great, but when you go back and watch yourself, you'll figure out what your mistakes are. Look at Beyonce. They videotaped themselves 4 hours a day back when they were starting out. Look at who are the people who are super successful. Look at their work habits. And especially now, when everybody's got cameras, wireless. This is just so ubiquitous. With YouTube, there's just no excuse to not go after what you want. So. on my birthday, I always like releasing a song. I always like doing something kind of productive and towards my goals. And so it kind of takes away that, oh, I'm a year older, as opposed to, I just released my debut single. So my song is called The Best Breakup, and which is funny because I've been working on it so long, I actually had to change the lyrics because my life changed by meeting my wife. And so I changed the second half and turned a breakup song into what you thought was horrible in the past ends up being a blessing because you got out of that relationship and you can move on to something amazing. And I had like the guys who recorded Guns N' Roses record it, the guy who mastered Michael Jackson's Thriller mastered it, the guy who played piano for Miles Davis, John Beasley, he played piano on mine, and then like amazing musicians. And it was just like, and the drummer of Ace Frehley of Kiss played drums. So, and this is on my debut thing. So, and a lot of it was just kind of like, you just go and ask him. You know, you're like, this guy will never play on my song. And we just bartered. I shot his band in the studio, and he played piano on mine. And so my film stuff is it's called Two Professors, and you can find me at Gunn, ANUGUNN.com, and that's my handle everywhere: social media, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, name it.